Most people can't even handle the truth. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And it is the truth. It isn't because it's just something that I decided to believe in. Okay? Just know this. I was raised with Christian values. Okay? I haven't let the values go. But guess what? I do not want to follow any religion. Okay? I want to only have unconditional love and unconditional care for myself and everybody else on this planet. I do not want to put myself in a box or a little compartment and say, yes, I got it right. Because everybody that decides to pick a certain religion, okay, or a certain way that divides them from everybody else is only dividing everybody from everybody else. People do not want to actually think about this or hear from me. They'll probably get angry or switch me off. But the reality is this. If we got rid of every religion on this planet and we had unconditional love and care for ourselves and everyone else, do you still believe that there's a God up there that's looking down, that's judging us, okay, because of who we are? You know, it has got to be the most silliest fairy tale story I've ever heard in my life. And whether you believe it or not, most of the disease, because they're not at ease, that's why we have a disease, most of the sickness on a physical level and emotional level is because of the programs exactly like this. Isn't it great how we divide ourselves away from everyone else? How we think that our story's right? You know, how we cannot have universal thinking. We can't even take the word earth and make it into the word heart. And if you look at the word earth, if you respell it, it's supposed to be heart. And until you have unconditional love and you are tankful, meaning filling up your own heart, you will hurt yourself and you will hurt everybody else. And understand something. Do you know why we are this? Look, why are we a battery? I'm going to give you a couple of reasons. We were actually created to become a battery so that our essence could be stolen from us because there's an entity that lives off of our electricity. I'm telling you right now, people that stand in their personal power and know how to stay in the present moment and know how to process everything through the heart, because that's smart, and not through the head, because you're going to be dead. Because we were all programmed from 0 to 7, okay? And guess what? 90 to 95% of the beliefs are all, okay, self-loathing, self-hating, okay, self-discriminating. So what do you think you're going to turn into? And understand something. When you got here, you were unconditional love. You were that. And then until you walked and you talked, then guess what? By then, when you started walking and talking, trust me, your parents, which don't even know they're adulterated, they made you now believe that no, there's not unconditional love. There's only conditional love. And tell me that I'm wrong. Go ahead and tell me. That if you didn't do what they wanted you to do, if you didn't see what they wanted you to see, you got punished. And understand something, they didn't even realize that you only acted like you acted by the time you walked and talked, because who else are you going to become like except your parents or your peers? So understand something right now, the whole thing is a setup, okay? And guess what? The human body is the human cells are 0.04. Okay, that's the charge they have. 0.04 volts in every cell. And understand this. Do you think that I am going to let anybody use me like a battery and drain my electrical essence? Guess what? No matter what goes on, whether somebody rips me off or somebody attacks me and makes up another story about me, or somebody gets jealous, or we get a bunch of haters together because they don't like what I'm doing, I don't take it personal. And I definitely need nobody's approval to have unconditional love and care for myself and for the planet and enjoy every day, no matter if there's 1 war or 3 wars or 4 wars going on, or they say that there's economic depression coming. I'm still going to enjoy myself, because understand, this is all just a setup. I mean, you actually believe, being the majority, maybe not you, but the majority actually believe that we are civilized. We are so uncivilized. Give me a break. And the other thing is this. I'm not upset, but we're uncivilized. And if you really wanted to do your homework, you could go back 100,000 years and find out, or 200,000 years, or 300,000 years, and you would find out that they were more advanced back then than we are today. And that's all been hidden, and history's been rewritten, because guess what? Between all of the blue light, the 5G, okay, the glyphosate, the V, with all the venom in it, and guess what? With all of the stuff they've done to us, they've dumbed us down so much. Why don't you just go walk around and take a look? You can walk into any city and you'll see zombies walking everywhere. And I'm talking about zombies that haven't done any drugs, because they have done drugs and they have done poisons, they have done toxins, because of what they drink and what they eat and the way that they live their life. Like these, I forgot to take them off. My apologies, but these are Tesla glasses. They're not blue blockers. They take blue light and they turn it and transform it into the highest vibrational healing for my brain and my eyes and my nervous system. And guess what? I wear them all the time. I do things that people think I'm crazy. I walk bare feet everywhere in Ixtapa, Mexico. Okay, all right? And I go into supermarkets, hairdresser, whatever, get my hair cut. It doesn't matter where I go. Into the finest restaurants, I'm still barefoot. People look, but they don't kick me out. The reality is this: if you can't find your authentic self, then all you are is a battery. So every cell has 0.04 volts. And if you take 50 trillion cells, what do you got? What do you think you got? You got 2,000 volts. A human body has 2,000 volts, and understand something. The government, the psycho tyrants there that are telling us that we're so bad for the world, they get to harvest our money. They get to harvest us. But there's an entity above them that we actually feed them our essence, our electrical current that they can't get enough of. And they feed on that. Now you're going to go, well, he's so psycho. Oh, wow. Yeah, really? No, I'm not psycho. Okay? If I was so psycho, then how could I be offering a money-back guarantee for all my treatments, all my trainings, all my courses? And why do I have the highest vibrational products on the planet? Because I do. And the reality is why do I get attacked by my government every 6 months? They come out with something. Okay, what's the latest, greatest by them? They'll never stop. Because you know what? If you ever find out what you truly are, if you ever find out how truly powerful you are, and how truly beautiful you are, and that you were created by the creator of everything. So understand this, you are, and I'm telling you right now, 99% of the population is just a battery, okay? And they're sucking your essence out. And you wanna know how much they're sucking it out? Well, there's no such thing as depression, there's only anxiety. And you run anxiety long enough, and guess what? You burn out the computer called your brain, because your brain is not smart. It's only as smart as the beliefs you have. And understand something, I will never buy into another religion. I will never ever shop in a supermarket, okay, unless it's guaranteed organic. And guess what? Could I do that in the United States? Okay, I have my fulfillment center in Texas. Okay, I go and I stay there part-time. I live in Texas. Right? Would I ever go back to Canada or go back to Texas? Well, Texas, I know a few places I can get to, but it's going to get worse. BlackRock owns all the supermarkets, basically 95% of them, okay? And they're poisoning everything. You can't shop at a supermarket, but take a look how busy it is. That's the majority. And the majority of the population, guess what? They're tired all day long. They have to go from stimulant to stimulant, coffee, sugar, or whatever else they can get their hands on. Okay, and do you know why? Because the battery is empty. There's no electricity in it. So now you're stimulating yourself. And understand something, whether you believe it or not, there was another movie, and it was an animation called Monsters, Inc. And Monsters, Inc. was about these monsters that get up at nighttime and they scare little children. But guess what? It wasn't about little children, it was about you. Every time that you get scared, you go and you pump adrenaline into you. Even if you're just sitting there and you don't get up, 70% of the energy goes to your arms and legs, and you pump the adrenaline, the cortisol out, and then it makes you acidic, and guess what? You lose your energy. Well, guess what? I got big news for you. Einstein stated this, and if you don't believe me, go check it out. Energy never dies. Energy never dies. These blood-sucking energy thieves stole your energy. And the sicker you are, the more that you give your energy away on a subconscious level, and you don't even know it. So that's why, guess what? I do a whole life coach, and it's called Whole Life Coach Certified. And that means that, guess what? That you've got your life, that you know how to actually set a path out to find your authentic self and to stand in your power. I've had thousands and thousands of people tell me that, Dr. Wolf, you're so brave. And I've never been brave, but now I am, because when I watch you, it just allows me to actually find my courage and not live in fear. I hear this every day from countless people. I don't need to make this stuff up because it's true. Those are the lion hearts. Those are the ones that are going to wake up. And the majority of the population isn't going to wake up. They're just going to be sucked of their energy. And whether you believe it or not, Matrix, was for inner trainment for those that were awake. Because guess what? These people that actually feed these entities, they're not human, but these things that feed off your energy, all right? Just know this. That's the law, universal law. They have to tell you they're coming for your energy. And then if you decide to give it up, if you decide to eat the poison, if you decide to drink the poison, if you decide to believe in their BS, the end of the world scenarios, So just know this. Just like the strike that's going on, the dock strike in eastern United States, all right? This is all planned and plotted. It's so easy to actually program the human beings, isn't it? So we've got that going on, and then we've got Iran, and we got Palestine, and then we've got Russia, all right? And then we've got United States, we've got NATO, And what else do we have going on? Oh, we have HARP that just decided to take out North Carolina because they have the biggest crystal mine and lithium mine there. And if you did some research, actually you would understand this. And understand it's just a big game, And so now these parasites, they decided they're going to clean us out of our money and out of our energy, And they're going to bring us down to the ground, And try to enslave us again. And if you think there's anything else going on, then guess what? You're not even here long enough and strong enough to understand the story. You know what? Jesus came to teach us unconditional love. Buddha came to teach us peace. What if you had unconditional love and you could actually find inner peace? What if you didn't react to every damn story that they make up and every crisis they make up? And everybody in power is powerless. Everybody in power is powerless. And they're going to do what they're going to do. You might get a little bit difference if this guy gets in instead of this girl, But it's not going to be that big. When it all comes down to it, you need to be your hero. You need to write your own story. You need to be the writer. You need to be the director. You need to be the producer. And you need to be the leading star. And the reality is this. When you're losing it at home, you're teaching everyone else to lose it. Why can't you connect to your lion heart breath, put a slight smile on, no matter, Let me tell you something. So yesterday, my daughter gets a call. Somebody very close and dear, is not doing well. So my daughter, because she's been trained to lose it, If somebody's suffering that you love, and the more they're suffering, the more you're supposed to lose it, the more you're supposed to suffer. And I said, listen, I get it. I get it. I love her too. My heart goes out to her. But do you think making yourself sick right now and creating drama and then calling up the rest of the family and creating more trauma with everybody else in the family, you're the problem? You need to be the solution. Is there anything that you can do for her right now? No, there isn't. Then guess what? Go for a swim, go for a walk, get back in the present moment, and then learn, because you know that that relative has been given all the chances. Here I am right here. They've never wanted help. They were taught that suffering was the way, and they've suffered right to the point that now their body is rotting out. And guess what? It's a damn shame. But understand, and I said this to my daughter, we've all been set up, and we're all going to get sick if we don't love, honor, and respect ourselves. And they've given us all the warning and said that they're coming for us. They're going to sell us off by the pound, and they're going to drain us like we're an ever-ready battery. And that's what they're going to do, and they're going to do it every day. And look at you right now. Is your energy leaving you? And she goes, yes, I've been dealing with this for an hour, and I feel exhausted. I go, guess what? That means you're becoming very acidic, you're becoming low in oxygen. And understand, that's called disease. And now you've got these symptoms where you're exhausted, okay, all right? And do you feel any aches and pains? Yeah, I do, in my neck and my shoulders. Well, did you have it before you started talking about this to me? No. Then guess what? Don't react and attack yourself just because someone else has done it long enough and strong enough, and now they've gotten themselves in trouble. I said, do you remember when you were younger and you were a teenager, and then there would be a crisis in the family, and somebody in our family was in trouble? They were in the hospital, or they were sick, or they were actually preparing to leave the planet, and I would keep a slight smile connected to my breath, and I would stay there and make sure that I supported everyone. And then what would you say to me? You called me selfish. You called me self-centered. Now what do you think? Is it still selfish and self-centered that I actually protected my energy and I actually loved myself enough to not buy into that if the world's suffering, I must. If my family's suffering, I must? I get it now, Dad. I get it. I never got it then, and I'm understanding now. I said, good. You're 30 years old. It's time that you love and care for yourself. Or guess what? You're going to be in the same position. I said, do you know how many people come to me, okay, and they have a family member that has stage 3 or 4 cancer, or some, which they call the big C, I call it stage 4 inflammation, or they have some other autoimmune disease, and guess what? And we're doing everything to help this person, cell-sonic regeneration, cardio med bed, using all the different energy medicine equipment, the nutraceuticals, the non-surgical, the diet, the exercise, the ultimate. I said, Jen, we're bringing everything out. And the family comes here to Extopasy Watanago, and they all go out to drink. They all eat the same crap, okay? They don't change anything. Because believe it or not, that's how programmed we are. You can actually come here with someone that you are living exactly like they're living. Their personality is more toxic, so of course they get the dis-ease, but everybody's going to have to pay. Your body is a Visa card, and the reality is if we're not making daily payments of love and care, then guess what? The bank wants to recall it, and that's called disease. But first we have these love messages that were out of alignment. Everybody has them, but they consider it normal. And then they call it symptoms. And then the symptoms go to a disease. And then it's a life-threatening situation because we never learned how to even love ourselves or care for ourselves. And if the world were to do that, their game would be over. Their game would be over. These corporations wouldn't be selling us by the pound. and this entity that nobody wants to believe that actually exists, okay, wouldn't be sucking the electrical energy out of us until there's nothing left. And that's the deal. I get it, Dad. I said, yeah, it takes time to get it because the brainwashing has been going on for centuries and centuries. Like I just told you, we're not civilized. Civilized people don't use their religion to go and hurt other people. They don't use their religion to say that they're better than everybody else. Civilized people are people that have unconditional love and care for themselves, and they mind their own business, okay? And they take massive personal action at honoring and loving and respecting the God-given vehicle called their body, and understanding that which is the universal creator has never judged us. This is all just made up crap. And guess what? And you know what? Probably 10 years ago, I wouldn't have talked like this because I'd be worried that I'd lose people and they wouldn't buy my products. Really? Well then, who's the fraud? Who's the real fraud here? That would be me. And guess what? Like I've told people, you know what? And it's the truth. Go back and look. 14 years ago, I was worth $2,250. That's all I had left in the bank. All right? You want to go back 20 years? Okay? I was worth $3 million. Okay? What am I worth now? Well, I don't have a lot of money, but guess what? I've got the Braveheart Nation studio and my app, and guess what? I'm going to be perfectly fine. And understand that. I don't know what we think we need, okay? But all we need is to know that that what created the universe has always loved and cared for us. And all these stories were made up, okay, just to what? Make us into what? A battery, so they could feed off of us. Well, understand something. Until I take my last breath, I will have an electrical charge that is phenomenal. You know what? Just talking like this, I can feel my vibration coming up, my energy coming up, and I feel wonderful. And I feel wonderful about that which people call God, which they have all different ideas about, because I know that that which created the whole universe said, Daryl, you're going down to a life-threatening situation where they want to sell you by the pound, the psycho corporations, and then this entity wants to suck your energy out every day in creating fear. And it's not hard to actually get the majority of the population and pay them enough money to actually hurt and kill each other like that. Is that true or not? So guess what? Mind your own business. Start focusing on the life you've always wanted, no matter how much everybody's losing their shit out there, okay? Just mind your own business, and guess what? You know why I'm going to tell you something right now, and you better get this. Everybody lives on a different earth. I live on a different earth than you do. You live on a different earth than everybody else. And it's all about what belief systems you got when you were 0 to 7 that are running your life right now. And guess what? The people that their beliefs do not match mine, they've already switched off. Okay, they've already switched off, or they're going, he'll get his. I definitely will. I'll get mine because I'll make sure I'm going to get mine, which is a beautiful moment every moment because I'll mind my own business unless I'm on here. And guess what? There are actually people on my platform that want to hear what I have to say. Some of you might have tripped onto the platform and it's probably not the place for you. The reality is this, I will always carry the best products. I'll always have a money-back guarantee on all my courses, all my trainings, all my treatments. And guess what? If that's not authentic, then I don't know what is. And understand something. You want to live the most authentic life here, and you want to find your Braveheart roar, and you are no longer a battery for them to use, okay? You want to keep your electricity, you want to bring your vibration up, and you want to protect it. It is everything. Your vibration, your electricity is everything. God love you, and thank you for joining me. Have the best moment of your life. And that's every moment. God bless.